good and talk, YouTube. This is Lego Nookie 101 speaking. Now, in case you're wondering what's with the new studio, well, we have recently moved out of recently moved, and this is basically my new room, so things will be a little bit different from now on. And speaking of which, today I'm going to be reviewing something a little different now that Bionicle's discontinued. Today I'm going to be reviewing LEGO Creators set number 31058 Mighty Dinosaurs. Comes with 174 pieces. But this time I'm not going to be showing off the pieces since I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with the parts that come with these sets. So yeah. Here we have the first of the builds, the T-Rex build. And I do say, I think I actually kind of like the colors. I actually kind of like this. Wait, anyways, the proportions look good. And the color scheme is actually really nice. The green, the tan, and the bits of gray, it's actually pretty neat. You can get some posability out of them. You have a ball jointed head, the hinged mouth that can open and close, and then it uses this Mixel ball joint, which I've sadly never seen in person before until now. And then the neck is on this soft ratchet that can only bend like 2.5 clicks. Basically, what I mean is, when you try to go to the third click, it's kind of not going all the way in. Then the arms are on kind of a limited ball joint, but you can still move it around just a little bit. There aren't any elbows, but the hands are on a hinge joint. You can move in and out. Legs are on a tight ball joint, thanks to this friction adapter. Can go all the way about. There aren't any knee or ankle joints on this guy. However, you do have a ball joint down here that is somewhat limited. Oops. And now his legs are coming apart. And then the middle claw can articulate. Well, the middle claw can move up and down, and then his claws can move side to side. As for the tail, you got 2 Mixel ball joints and hinge joints. You got plenty of motion there. And then I guess if you move this down one side, you can give him an elbow joint, though you will risk the arms coming apart. And then he comes with this rib cage sort of thing, which is pretty cool. And in case you haven't seen the animation, the guy's basically like chewing on one of the ribs as if there's still meat on there, which I guess is pretty funny. I'm not sure about the inside though. Kind of like how they got the tongue, but I'm not quite sure about this. And also glad they got all the teeth. And yeah, overall it's a pretty nice. It's a pretty nice first build. Now on to the second build. And here we have the Triceratops build. Here is all the parts left. The parts left over from building this guy, so we can set those up to the side. And onto the Triceratops. I gotta admit, this guy actually looks pretty cute from a front view. He actually is. I kinda like this guy. I mean, the T-Rex, the proportions match, and they got every exact detail, and for posability, ball joints galore. Next on a ball joint, shoulders are on a somewhat limited ball joint, hips are on a tight ball joint, the tail is on like 2 ball joints, which is very cool. And then the bit with the 2 big horns can bend down 1 click, even though I don't know if Triceratops have that kind of feature, but it's there. Overall, I guess I kind of like it. Now, let me see if I can do something with some of these leftover parts. Alright, so I've gone ahead and taken like half of the extra pieces and made a couple of made a couple of small plants that I guess you can have the Triceratops kind of nibble on, like that. Even though he doesn't have a flexible jaw. So, anyways, on to the third build. And here we have the third build, the Pterodactyl. Again, here are all the leftover parts, so off to the side they go. So, here is the Pterodactyl itself, and I'd say this actually looks pretty nice. Though I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the feet of a pterodactyl are supposed to look like this. And not sure if they got the hands, if they quite got the hands. With the claws on the wings, if you know what I mean. But that looks pretty nice, especially in terms of the proportions. In terms of posability, the head is on a Mixel's ball joint, which is pretty fair. Wings are kind of similar to the T-Rex's tail. You've got 2 ball joints, they hinge at the end. However, the shoulder ball joint is similar. However, the shoulder ball joint is much bigger. So you get a fair amount of articulation there. You can make him flap his wings or whatever. Legs are somewhat limited. They can at least go forward and back, much like the Triceratops' shoulders. And then the tail itself can articulate, so there's that. So you can actually get some decent poses. So I guess you can actually get some decent poses out of this guy, including a Pterodactyl's signature flying pose, which is pretty obvious. So there's that. And yeah. So, what to do with these leftover parts? Alright, so I have gone ahead and took some of the extra parts to make this little lizard thing, which actually can articulate. Got a ball joint at the neck, hinges at the legs, swivel at the tail, and yeah, I know, pterodactyls primarily eat fish, but I've heard they can also. And I've heard that they also eat small animals. So anyways, with this you can like pretend that the pterodactyl's swooping in, grabbing the lizard, taking off, and then gulping it down. Even though he doesn't have jaw articulation, sadly. Now, I'm not sure if this is common amongst Lego creator 3-in-1 designs, but there is actually a 4th bonus design in this set, which I think is either supposed to be in a Pterodactyl or a Brontosaurus or something. I think I might check it out. Be right back. And here we have the 4th build. Now, looks like what we have here is a Brontosaurus of some kind. Nice. Very, very nice. And in case you're wondering, the Pterodactyl had a lower neck and it was much wider. Brontosaurus, on the other hand, the neck was a bit higher, and it wasn't really all that wide. And then here are all the remaining parts that you end up with. So there's that. Just saying, I actually kind of like this. The proportions work out well. The details are pretty nice. And like the rest of the dinos, you do get some cool opposability. The head is on 2 ball joints, one up here, one down here. And then there's a hinge joint in the middle, so you can get plenty of motion with the head. The legs are more or less similar to the Triceratops, only the hind legs are a bit more limited because of the way the torso is constructed, and then there's also the tail. Nonetheless, you can still move them a little bit. You can't really move them forward. However, these legs can move forward, which I don't get why. And then, like with the Triceratops, the tail is on 2 ball joints. And then, unlike the Triceratops and the Pterodactyl, just for the sake of timing, I'm not really gonna build anything extra with all these remaining parts. Although I will experiment with this set and try to come up with some other creations that can be made with just this set alone. And I will post those on my DeviantArt profiles, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Lincoln Nookie 101 saying, Auf Wiedersehen.